Okay, this is our presentation on OSSIM assignment. It has implementation of the OSSIM on a virtual machines, and OSSIM is an open source security information and event management SIM system. It provides the functionality of event collection and correlation. In our assignment, we have tested it for event collection, simulating attacks, and then looking into them in the event tab, and then correlating that attacks with an alarms which has been created. This is the setup of the lab or the assignment. We have OSSIM as an event, as a incident detection system, and also we have Ubuntu machine, which routes the traffic between all these uh, sub different subnets. So we have inside as an end hostess. We have DMZ, demilitarized zone, as our asset, like exploitable, and we have a Kali Linux to simulate our attacks. Uh, to get this functionality after the setup done, we have uh, installed OSSEC, open source security on Ubuntu, which is our firewall also, to feed, log, and other network activities to our SIM. Similarly, on a Windows, events and alerts. According to OSSIM, with the default configuration when you install initially, it will not generate any alerts at all. But if you do any attacks, you can see that on your events. So this is the events. I have simulated an attack from Kali to Metasploitable, and it's been shown in the events, but not in the alerts. So I have created one correlation derivative, and then simulated again, and it showed, as you can see on that image on the right, it showed events and alerts. This shows the alert events, which has on the left you can see the alerts from our network. So the Kali machine conducting attacks to the exploitable. But this, if an alarm is not set up, it won't show in the on the right, as you see. It won't show up on the alarms tab. So this it shows because this is after the setup. So that will be seen in the later in the demonstration, hands-on demonstration at the end of the presentation. So this is correlation directives, which allows us to create an alarm which is correlated against the events we have seen. So this shows some of them. Uh, there are above 80 directives which come with the OSSIM. It's open source, but with USIM you have a lot more, as I have seen when I was researching and reading about it. Directives, it has got some directives to detect scan activities. We have done one. Directives to detect brute force attacks. Also, we have done one of those kinds of attacks, and much more. OSSIM has got limitations in terms of this, and it doesn't have correlation directives for DOS, and also some of the network attacks such as Scala. Conducted attacks, these are the attacks we have done for the lab. We have done active scanning. It's been seen in the events, and we have created an an alarm, then simulated again an nmap attack, and then we have an nmap, and we have seen that on the alert. Telnet board, we have done that, and FTP SSH. Uh, this is the conclusion. OSSIM is an open source SIM. It has got a very nice threat intelligence or threat analysis. It correlates different events that's happening to detect pattern of an attack. Then you can correlate with an alarm that it has got as a discovery. This is allowing you to discover your NOx for monitoring, and also you can conduct vulnerability testing and assessments to know or mitigate the weaknesses on any network you are monitoring. And that's it. Bye bye. Okay. Okay, let's do. This is our SIM, uh, OSSIM dashboard. So you can see the dashboard, executive, ticket, security, and tax enemy and vulnerabilities. If you look into the tickets, you can see available tickets. These are auto created when an alert comes in. This is security. You can see top promiscuous hosts. These are our hosts, security events, top 5 alarms, so on and so on. Vulnerability. OSSIM has vulnerability assessment. You can scan your environment. So I have one is, as you can see here, I have created a job named main scan. That was 25 December 2020, and you can see Metasploitable here has got 61 uh, vulnerabilities. Like, okay, and other two host intrusion detection systems, Linux and Windows. Okay, they have nothing but it shows like few over there, and also we have alarms here. So I have created an alarm earlier. You can see this is brute force authentication. Mm. This system does not do any alarm if you have never created one. So I'll show now. I will demonstrate how I did this. This is FTP attack, and I created the alert, and it shows whenever I do an FTP attack. You can see it shows here also. It's very nice tab here, and here's the SIM security SIM. It shows all the attack that took place. So also we can have real-time uh, real-time events. So here's our environment. So we have our assets, the the machines that we are monitoring. Okay. We have also scheduled scan. Okay, we haven't done any. We haven't created any here. Okay, vulnerability. We have seen that. Scan jobs. If we go to here, you can see the main one, which is already done. We have availability and detection. Okay, detection is important. these two are host intrusion detection systems. So they are disconnected now because I started the machine now to record this. So let's go to hits, control, and restart. Okay, let's check the agents now, and both they are both active. So all right, let's create a new one. What was the other one? The other one was like 96. We have that one. Okay, let's. We have seen like uh, attempt to log in using an assistant, attempt login, non-existent user. So the event ID is 5710, and the source ID is 7010. Uh, let's set up an alert for that and see what happens. Let's stop the attack or think, yeah, it's already stopped. Let's check. Let's create this alarm. It's an attempt of non-existent user. Okay, this is an attack. Uh, it's attack to detect it. Attempt of non-existent user. Attempt of non-existent user login. Attempt of login with login. Non-existent user. Attempt of okay. Attempt of login, and then make it 3. Next, same name. Attempt of non-existent user login. Next, uh, the source is 7010 alien fault, and the ID is attempt to log in, and the what happened, the ID of the events 5710. That's attempt login with non-existent. Okay, so next, next 10, next, next, uh, any, next, next, and finish. So we have this one. It's also no timeout. So let's create another subrule from here. Attempt non-existent user. Next, uh, same ID again. 7010. That's alien hits. And the ID of the events 5710, and that's attempt of the non-existent, selected from the list, and base it on the source IP. Next, 10 again. Next, next. let's answer from rule 1. Level 1, the time, no, the occurrence is 10, the time is 1 hour, source IP, next, finish. So let's reload. Yes. All right, now let's go to alarm. We have the second alarm here. That's brute force. Attack tool detected, yeah?